Looks like everyone's here. Exciting. Actually, question. You know, the LCG comes with two plates for the rear link. We've been running the wider one just mainly because it fits without any Dremel work. Pekko, have we tried the narrower one properly?
I tried at the Nationals. I put it narrower, and I didn't like it. I think it didn't have that much support because the track was bumpy. So I was thinking maybe it was super low grip bumpy. I was thinking maybe it would have more grip in the rear with that. It would be more easier to drive, but then it was just bit all over the place and squatting too much when
Yeah,
you
I
go
feel
on
like
short.
we need to try that again.
It felt inconsistent.
Try it more.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I've been running the short link this whole time. I haven't even tried the long one. But the short link, like you said, is a little less support, but the buggy's been very comfortable with it.
Yeah, we need to test that in China. Okay. So we just had the YMP meeting, Youth Mentoring Program meeting. We're continuing that for next year. More people involved, renewed motivation. Gonna improve on what we did this year. And for the membership thing, for the MPC, there is a lot more development ahead of us. So I know Kevin's gonna love this. The Truggy, for example. We're gonna design the LCG for the Truggy. We're gonna run the rear shocks front and rear, so the longer than on the buggy, but really focus on figuring out the LCG geometry for Truggy, make it really low. The rest of the geometry too, make it so good that all you guys can do donuts around those John Deeres you have out there in America. That's the goal. That was the initial sort of boost of motivation that I needed, but it didn't last. We ran a Truggy in Estonia, thanks to Markus Ubalet, but that's about it. We don't actually have the parts yet. We're heading off to China. We need to get it finished while we are there so that Pekko can run it. Or maybe I should be the Truggy test driver, actually. I don't know. Yeah. And apart from the Truggy, what's that?
You should have an American be the Truggy test driver, since we are the only ones who know about truck.
Well, the thing is that I have a feeling that maybe you guys don't know how good a truck can be. See, I think maybe you are stuck in your ways.
Tech knows the best truck.
Exactly. And that's concerning. That's a concerning thing because we've run it a few times now and kind of can't really understand the hype. So if that's what you're basing it on, then I'm afraid that the initial feedback may be misleading. So I think in China we need to sort of figure out the base. We need to speak with all of you who have had a truck already. Maybe there are some of you here who have been running a truck. Get all the feedback. In the first meeting, actually, there was someone who said that they were running serpent arms. Any of you run serpent arms on the prototype? And with the serpent arms, he could also drill the hole for the droop screw. So the droop screw is normal, hitting the hub. Raymond Shell says, 2-time Truggy season champ. I beat every brand. Good. So then the next level prototype, beat them even worse or better. So yeah, Serpent Arms need to look into that. Also, for next year, the Truggy isn't going to be a conversion kit as such. It's going to be as complete a kit as we can make. So all the parts that are Mayako that work will be in a kit. And then you need to find a fuel tank, arms, body posts. I think that's it. And the rest of the parts will be by Mayako. Will we get front universal shafts that work? Yes. So we will make all the drivetrain parts that are needed. So the drivetrain parts are Mayako. But no molded parts. So that's why we won't have arms, we won't have a fuel tank, we won't have body posts or a body. Then we touched on this last meeting, but just to sort of reiterate, our goal is to be able to develop the Mayako buggy quickly, faster than other brands. And that was the initial idea of the membership program, because the way the industry works is we have a car, then the car needs to kind of stay the same for 3 or 4 years, or pretty much the same, just purely for business reasons. So you need to produce a product, then you need to have dealers around the world sell the car, sell the spare parts. So it needs to have a certain lifetime. So 3 to 4 years seems to be actually a relatively short time if you compare to many other brands. Well, except X-Ray, they sort of make updates every year. But if you look at the other brands like Mugen and S-Works and Kyosho, they actually have the same version of the car for much longer. But the goal would be to have pretty much the same base for around 4 years and then make a larger update. But that time is really long, and I mean, you already know. So when we released the e-buggy, for example, there were already people who were running saddle chassis, for example, and they were saying, oh, this is so much better, this is the direction we need to go. But since we just released the e-buggy, we couldn't then immediately release another one. It doesn't make any sense. Mayako wouldn't be here anymore if that was the case, that we as soon as we've released a car, we just redesign it and run something else. But with this MPC program, we can kind of try and get the best of both worlds. So we have a basic car that anyone can buy, but then we have a membership program where we do develop the car faster, where we do try different parts, and where we do, for example, change the suspension geometry. Like now we have the LCG suspension, but it's a members only part. And the reason is that it's not actually better everywhere. We have to figure things out. We have to make it work better first before it can be something that's introduced in the kit. And one of the requirements for this to work is that we actually have paying members, and then we actually produce a small amount of parts, and then many of our members purchase those parts, test them, provide feedback, then we make an update maybe, or then we decide to go for production. And this is, I mean, purely for financial reasons, because to make small amounts of parts, it's not that easy actually over there in China or Taiwan, because they prefer to just make big batches. So thousands or tens of thousands of something. They don't want to make 10 pieces or 50 pieces. So the fact that we are able to do this is already an achievement. But there are a few things that make it harder for us. And one is if we release something new and then another brand in RC copies those exact parts and sells it to non-members. So that means then that in this case, it was, for example, what's it called? Carbon Cavalieri, who has exact copies of the LCG parts. I don't know if he was able to just purchase them or if a member sold them or how he got them. But anyway, like this kind of thing detracts from the MPC program and plan, because if Mayako can't produce small batches of parts, have members buy them, and then sort of contain that within this membership structure, then eventually it's going to be a big mess and it won't work. So I hope that we all agree that this is this is how we should work, that some of the information that we have here we keep within this community until we show up at tracks with the parts, for example. And then even at that point, we should still stick to the principle that to be able to run certain parts, you have to be a member. And if we aren't super strict about it. Of course, we hope that this is the case, but this is still a fun hobby, right? So if we can just sort of adhere to this principle, we understand the reasons behind it and promote this way of working, then I think it will be a lot better for us in the future. Raymond is asking, can we get a feedback form like the issue report where you, Joseph, can get more direct feedback and not have it all getting lost in Discord? Can we have a feedback form specifically for the MPC parts? I think that could be a good thing. Now we have one just in general, but then we could have one also for whatever the sort of MPC parts we have out. For example, recently LCG suspension geometry or floating steering servo. In the future, the various other parts that are in development. I think it's a good idea. I think we should do that. But anyway, I hope you understand what I mean, that for this program to work, for us to be able to develop the cars as fast as we want, then we need this structure to be in place where Mayako is the one to produce new prototypes, and then all members get those, test them, provide feedback, and then Mayako will make more. And sometimes it's the case that they run out. So if we make, for example, 100 sets or something, if they are really popular, then they'll sell out. And then some members will just have to wait until we gather the feedback and make more, or until production is done. So that's just the way it has to be for now. And if we notice that, okay, the demand is now higher, we have more members, we have more active members, then we'll just increase that initial prototype batch of parts so that everyone can get them. And sometimes I think that there are situations like right now, Sam from Australia, he designed a plastic chassis brace for the saddle e-buggy. Now that's not something that Mayako is going to make, for now at least. So then that could be a situation where, okay, he contacts Mayako and says, oh, I have this part, sends it to Pekko or myself and we test it. And then Mayako also promotes that we have a member who developed a part that can be really good for you, because it's not something that's competing with the parts that we are making. So that's also an opportunity. So it's not like we are discouraging you from creating things or modifying things on your own. That's actually a welcome thing also. it only becomes a problem if we have something that Mayako makes and then a member creates an alternative to that and is promoting and distributing that among members. Then it becomes a problem. Then is your plan to let MPC members test the LCG truggy parts and provide feedback, or will you develop them in a vacuum in China and let us know when you're happy with them? Yes, so we will make some parts in China just to try, and when we sort of figured out the basics, then we will produce a batch for MPC members to then test. Then what about members selling MPC parts to other Mayako drivers and they provide feedback? Does that counter the philosophy of the MPC? Well, MPC members in that case should promote the membership program to those other Mayako drivers, because the point is that they should purchase the membership, join the Discord and be a part of this, and then they can also have access to the member parts. So here you can see the e-buggy hopefully now.
Yes.
Can you see? Yeah. So this is what we ran at the Worlds now. And this is what will be the MPC e-buggy for next year. So the main changes to the current car is obviously, as you can see, the saddle layout, which a number of drivers have been running already for a longer time. With these parts here, there's two positions for the battery. So this is the wider and then also a narrower position with different holders. Then the braces that we have now are turnbuckles and upper links. So stronger and also the length perfectly adjustable. The motor mount is quite different to the other brands, and I think surprised that no one else has something like this, because it's lighter weight and also lower, and it's similar adjustment than on the Nitro for the mesh. And we haven't had any issues with this. So it's the M4 screws attaching to the motor, and then no other support for the motor. Curious to see now if you Americans with your massive jumps and Psycho Nitro Blast layouts, if you find any issue with this, but so far so good. The center diff mount it looks the same as the rear mount on the current car, but it's a bit different because there was some sort of remnants of back in the day parts, and some stuff was offset and not. My autistic brain can't handle that. It was really annoying. So now that's going to fix. So it's symmetrical and also lower, a bit lower. We'll have the floating steering plates, steering mount on the MPC kit as standard. And then the updated LCG geometry, I'll show you later, not now, is punishment for Carbon Cavalieri. What we changed, and the reason we changed it, is that we want to be able to run bladders, because right now we run the long shock shaft. And when we run the long shock shaft on up travel, the piston hits the bladder, or actually it goes too far to where you can't really run a bladder. So we want to run the short front shock shaft so that we are able to run a bladder in the shocks. And that's because we are working on developing some new stuff, new technology for shocks. And yeah, that's why we want to run the bladder. So we'll change the geometry so that we can get the up travel and down travel how we want, taking into account that we are running the short shaft and a bladder. And we'll also add some adjustment on the plates for the bottom end of the shock, so we can learn more about that. The reason that we didn't have adjustment is initially because we had a set geometry and we wanted to make that work. We didn't want to give people too many options to play around with, just to have the one location and then work with that to figure out the springs and the pistons and the oils and the setups that work. So now that we've done that, now we want to add some adjustability out here also. Especially on the rear, something that we've noticed is that because of the sideways force, this actually bends the arm and twists the insert here. So this is something worth noting when you assemble the car. So that initial parts had a smaller spacing here, used the number 2 insert. Then these parts that you got now, they use the number 3 insert. I think we sent them out with the wrong insert at first, but now they made also ones with the number 3, so it's wider. But another thing you should do is you should drill through further in the arm and use longer screws. So you drill through with a 2.5 drill bit or 2.4, and so you can thread a longer screw into the arm. You can do that front and rear, but mainly the rear has been an issue. What else? Any comments or questions about e-buggy? There's one more thing. Because we run the saddle layout and we don't have the brick style battery, we can actually narrow the chassis back to the same width as the Nitro, because the e-buggy right now, because it's wider, then you have to stretch the body. The body doesn't fit perfectly. So now we are able to run the standard body with no issues because the chassis is the same width as the Nitro chassis. And then, Pekko, why don't you talk about securing the batteries?
Me?
Yeah.
I was fine with the Velcro.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we have been thinking that the first one we made was the easiest to do with the Velcro because it's just easiest to do now. But we may do the same kind of tabs that X-Ray has. I think those would be also fine. So then we don't have to use Velcros.
Also, I really think that we need to make a piece so that you can run an antenna. Like Schumacher has this part that
Yes.
I just mount to the side guard, so we can run an antenna. I think we need to do that. I'm waiting for someone to say something about a radio box.
Hey, radio box would be great to mount an antenna to.
Yeah, and we have
Yeah.
the space for it.
Hey, look at T-Works's antenna to mount. They have a nice like clamping style that just takes an M3 screw on the bottom. If you're looking for something easy to machine.
Okay, I haven't seen that. You can check it out.
Yeah, T-Works has they sell it in all kinds of different colors. They just have a little aluminum collar that goes over I think the bottom half might be steel, but I think you can do it out of aluminum too. So, and then it's just slit down the threaded portion, so it clamps on the tube when you tighten the thumb screw.
Okay.
Joseph, do we have a radio box?
No. I mean, the original car, that there was one designed, but then members designed their own, and that was fine by me. Do you want an official Mayako one?
Yeah, I want something to print by you,
Okay,
by yourself.
maybe it will be like very last on the list.
I,
There's a long to do list. It's gonna be after the gyro video and updating the course and Truggy. After all of that, Lexan wing
we
and
are okay. No radio box. We are okay.
new bodies. There's all kinds of stuff that needs to be done, and
No radio box.
antenna mount, radio box. That's gonna be like way after.
Oh, no, we don't need it. We don't need even the antenna. Nobody's using it.
No, antenna for sure. We need that.
Because you use it.
Yeah, and actually now we have these like glow stick ones, so
The Kevin antenna is that.
even better. We have to make a mount for the glow stick.
That's why I want it. I want the glow stick.
But this one is too long though. The other short one was good.
You can cut it shorter.
Yeah. Okay, I have to do that then. So, what else?
Can we
E-buggy?
redesign the front mount of the chassis brace so that it's vertical, like the same on the rear? Similar.
So it's horizontal? No,
Yeah.
it's still the same. But Sam, who did the rear plastic brace, he also has a front plastic brace. I think he sent them to me now, so I will check. I'll check. But no, it's still the same. M4 screw and thread, and then the upper link plastic. We've got some chat comments. Is the motor sitting on the chassis? No, there's a pocket machined under the motor, and it doesn't touch the chassis. Has anyone had issues with front mounting the front brace with the M4 screw?
Not that I've heard of.
The
When
only
will
thing
that-
I've seen is that once you mount it with an M4 screw, you typically start breaking the steering links. So going to the upper link plastic rather than the steering link plastic, I think will be a good fix for that. So
Yeah. When will the 2.0 geometry be available? It will be available hopefully while we are still in China, so before Christmas, before mid-December. And then the wing mount, a better way to mount the shocks with current wing mount. Yes, it is likely that the rear shock will be in a slightly different position, and then you can mount the wing mount normally. And then the shock standoff will be mounted with a separate screw. And the battery holder is just for shorty. The shock towers front and rear will be different in the next generation of LCG kits. And
Will the battery holder have like a carbon fiber strap or Velcro?
This we will test in China, but for sure there will be Velcro. We will have a pocket machined under the battery, so you can run a Velcro strap and have the battery on the chassis. And the MPC e-buggy for next year, it will come with the next version of LCG geometry. So not the current one, the one that we haven't released yet. So that's going to be stock on both the Nitro and the electric MPC kits.
There will be an upgrade kit for members. 2.0 LCG. Only to upgrade the car or not?
You mean that if it will be sold as a set also?
Yeah,
You
to
don't know.
upgrade like the LE or standard.
I think that we can do that.
Joseph, the new geometry, what's driving that? What's different about it? Does it perform differently in some way?
Okay, we covered it. Maybe you weren't here. So the
I
main...
apologize. Sorry.
Okay, just quickly. The main reason for it is that we want to be able to run bladders. And right now, with this geometry, we are running the long front shock shafts. And when you run the long shock shaft, you can't run a bladder because it hits the bladder on up travel. So now with this redesign, we want to make sure that we can have all the droop, the up travel we want, and then run the short shaft. And also we'll add some adjustability on the carbon plates on the arm.
I had a question real quick, Joseph.
Yeah.
Are you guys doing anything for the rear of the LCG? Because I tend to keep bending my screws for the shock stay, and I'm constantly replacing them. Is there something in development for that?
I think it was Sam again who machined some parts, did he? He sent some to Pekko.
Yeah,
Was
he
it?
made some new standoffs.
Yeah, he made a one-piece standoff, but for the new geometry, we might not run the shock in the same position so that you can mount the current wing mount, and then the shock would be on a separate screw with its standoff.
Gotcha. Okay.
And with the current geometry, you can take a carbon front tower height insert, and it's the exact dimension. You can put that like on the other side of your shocks on the screw side, and it'll basically spread the load between both standoffs, and it's pretty strong.
You mean to put it,
if that makes sense,
at the back?
on
wing
the
mount?
front?
On the front? So in front of the shock caps?
Yeah, you
Okay.
basically put that carbon insert, so instead of the screw wanting to bend over, it pushes some load to the other shock screw.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
That's what I've been running, and I haven't bent a single screw.
Okay. You post a picture of that on Discord.
All right, I'll put one in the e-bug, or where do you want it? MPC chat?
Yeah,
Car
and
development?
e-buggy development. Like you can put in both.
Okay.
Corey, wake up.
LCG 2.0 coming with new saddle layout or R2 type of evolution. First LCG 2.0 and after new chassis. No, so what I showed you there with the saddle chassis, that's what next year's MPC kit will be. So it will only be saddle chassis and only the updated geometry. So the standard or basic Mayako MX-8 that anyone can buy, it will pretty much be the same car as now. The chassis will be different and towers, so they will be stronger, but the car will be the same design. And then next year, the MPC cars, both of them will have the LCG geometry. The limited editions won't be released now. That's going to be early next year. And we haven't 100% settled on the spec of that, but it won't be the LCG because that's going to be members only, and the limited edition kit we sell to everyone. Then for 2027, that's when we hope to have all of our cars be LCG. So the standard kit that anyone can buy has that LCG geometry, I guess at that point, probably 3.0 geometry. And then the MPC kits will then be already a step ahead developing the new platform. So bigger changes than what we've seen so far. And that's also why the Truggy isn't being pushed now to production, because if we did that, we would release the chassis and, release the Truggy, and then it would be old immediately after one season. So it makes sense to wait now, and then when we release the first Truggy as production, it will be that new platform that the buggy will share. What's that?
Are new shock springs under development?
Yeah, we have new springs now, but by Invisible Speed. So we made 3 different hardnesses. We have a front spring for the LCG. We run that front and rear. And then we have a longer rear spring for standard geometry. And we got them now. We haven't run them, so we'll be testing them in China also. And we also made internal springs for under the piston.
The small diff in that saddle layout, is that a mod 0.8 or did we get a 48 tooth standard spur?
We don't have the mod 0.8 yet, but next year we will make samples and test that also. If you want to run 0.8 mod, then the HB gears work. And I believe that Kyosho gears also work. But personally, I've only run the HB ones. And it works.
What about just 48 tooth with a small diff?
We don't have any on the way right now, but because we will make those for the Truggy, we can make 48 also. Now we only have 49.
Yeah, we only have a 49 right now.
Yeah. So that gear design that we had for the Truggy prototype, we can make those so that we can also run small center diff for mod 1. Someone's asking about a 47 for Truggy. What gearing have you guys been running on the Truggy?
I think I'm on a 49 tooth spur.
Yeah.
48, 49. I don't know that it might be able to handle a 47, but that might smoke a motor.
Yeah, for bigger tracks, a 47 would be good.
I've settled on, I haven't run the E-Truck, but I've been on 14, 48 pretty much all year.
Okay. So gearing, yeah, we will go through all the options now when we head to China. So next week we are flying over. First there's a race at the new facility that's organizing the Touring Car World Championships. And the weekend after that, there's the SIGP in Xiamen, where they had the 10 scale worlds some years ago. Then we head to the Mayako factory and we'll be there for about a month. And then the trip will end at the touring car world's warm-up. So 7 weeks altogether. And that's why I'm building this car now. Yeah.
So I feel like our parts quality as a whole has been getting better. The only thing I still think is a little off is our inner hinge pins are quite soft. Is there any chance we can get slightly harder?
Yes, but actually, to be honest, now I don't remember anymore, but the batch was made a long time ago. And I remember that this was an issue back when we were preparing that batch. So I don't know if the ones that they have now and that will be packed in the new kits, if they are the same or harder. But we will find out when we are there. And that's one of the reasons that we are staying there for so long, because I feel that the car is really good now, but there are many small issues, okay, many small details that need to be improved, and some big ones like no manual, for example. And when we are there, when they receive parts, when they pack the kits, when they prepare all of next year's stuff, basically, then it will be a lot easier and we will be much better equipped to fix these issues. So we hope to be able to provide cars that are a bigger improvement next year than so far. Parts quality, like you said, it's been improving, but there's still many small details that need some work. And then also the packing of the kits, and like I said, the manual and documentation in general, and stuff on the website and wiki and all of these things. So everything works together, and we want to provide a better experience for everyone who gets a Mayako. So not just members, but also just a regular guy who decides to try a Mayako and buys the kit, builds it, runs it. We want that experience to be better. So that's why we're staying there for so long, so that we can iron out as many issues as possible. And that also includes stuff like stock levels and how we handle the shipments to Europe and America and all of these things. So everything to do with Mayako and the processes that we have in place now. The idea is that when we are there, we can address all these issues. Someone asked about the hardness of the arms. We had the arm test. An issue with that is when we make the harder arms, they are longer and our car is really close to the limit. Now, probably for American races, that doesn't matter. But in Europe, it does. And at the Worlds, it does. That's an issue. But it seems that the softest of the three hardnesses was durable enough and clearly harder than the arms that we have now. So especially in sort of mid to high temperatures, they performed better. Do any of you have any experience? Did you try the different arms? I think that was the silver one, yeah.
Yeah, I had the silvers. I think the second was the reds. I
And
can't
then
remember.
yellow.
If it's red or yellow. The yellows, I believe, broke on like the first run out. Like they were not good. The reds, I believe, lasted second longest, but yeah, the silvers stayed on my car for 7 or 8 weeks straight, I think.
Yeah.
It was difficult to do any further testing because obviously once you broke one arm, you were kind of had to swap both. But yeah, it was. I definitely liked the car. I ran the silvers at nationals, and I had no issues with them. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we are looking at. So the softest of the three, we want to produce arms with that plastic and have it as an option for people. And then if we use that, or even maybe if we can improve on that plastic a bit, then when we make new arms, then we will make the mold specifically for that plastic, and then everything will be better. So the fit and the finish and everything and the length will be accurate to what it's supposed to be. Any plans for weight reduction? For the, I think the e-buggy actually is really light. I think it was one of, if not the lightest at the Worlds, right, Pekko? I think so.
Yeah, I think our e-buggy was one of the lightest for sure. I think I remember it was probably 100 grams lighter than X-ray, and then well, AE was like a tank compared to that.
Yeah, so for e-buggy, the weight is really good. For nitro, yes, it could be lower. I think the LCG really helps. The towers are so much lighter. Yes, there's more hardware on the arm though. Bodies, we made lightweight bodies, and actually now the durability has been good. So the new bodies that we make will all be this lighter weight body. So the body will actually lower the weight somewhat. I forget how much it was.
20 grams.
20 grams?
Yeah, somewhere there.
Okay. But then when we make the design for the next platform, new platform, of course, the weight is always considered. And now we have a lot more information regarding the materials and the current design we have and parts that can be lighter weight. So yeah, always a consideration. Anything else?
Is there a way that we could convert our cars to the LCG, I guess 2.0 as of right now, or are we gonna have to wait for the kit?
Convert which thing?
For the saddle layout? Is there a way for us to, is there like a design that we could follow to cut, because obviously we're gonna have to cut into the chassis. If we want to do the laydown for the saddle packs of the batteries instead of using a stick 4S.
With the current chassis, if you want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we made ours for the Worlds now. What did it require?
Is there like a stencil
I mean,
that could be available to us, or?
Well, we needed to drill and tap 4 holes. I mean, 8 holes for the battery holder, new holes for the center diff mount and for the motor mount. But I suggest that you just wait for the chassis to be done that we make.
Okay. And when is that coming out later this year? Like maybe fourth quarter? Well, we're pretty much in the fourth quarter, but
Yeah,
later
that's
this year?
yep, that's what we are pushing for.
Gotcha.
That we get the parts while we are still in China, and we can prepare the kits. We'll know for sure once we're there. When we see everything, we know schedules for everything, then we'll know.
Is the motor mount the same timing, Joseph?
Yeah, so I mean, we are making the MPC kit, and that will come with all of these new parts.
Okay.
So they will all be done at the same time. Nitro brake system. Maybe we'll finally get that single disc brake system. That's what we want to try for the Nitro. Then no one can complain about the brake bias. I'm curious to see how that will work. Any other questions?
Let's try to make something magnetic out of it, like the other thing.
It exists already, the mag brake.
Yeah, but integrated, not like this half-ass add-on solution. Really integrated in the diff gearing. Mount the magnet in the diff gear. Save even more weight.
Yeah. Not on the drawing board right now. There'll only be the one weight of the body. All the bodies will be the lighter one. The springs aren't available yet. They will be available soon.
Yeah, the lightweight body's more durable anyway.
They don't crack as easy. What will be the new standard on the Nitro car? It will be on the MPC, it will be the long F9L. That's going to be stock. And for next year, you have more options. I forgot to say that. So because we've produced more parts, we have narrow and wide C&D blocks, for example, then you'll be able to select those as MPC members for your kits. So the normal C-hubs, which C-hubs and knuckles you want, springs, anti-roll bars, and in addition then body shell, C&D block, front universals or CVDs, rear universal or CVD. So we are adding options so that you can select the ones that you want. But all of the cars will be with the LCG geometry. And on the laydown car, is there plans for a new rear body post that's further forward and away from the shocks? Well, not right now. We aren't molding anything, but we can make something that people can 3D print. Oh yeah, so I forgot to mention in this meeting about the bags. Salty is asking about the backpack that I posted. So we are making some bags and also clothing for the youth mentoring program, but also just plain Mayako branded. So I will show you if I can. There we go. Yeah, so we have various different bags that we'll make. A backpack, sort of car bag, tool bag, radio bag, oil bag. We'll have ones that are just Mayako and also ones that are YMP, and you can get your name on them. So we'll put these up and people can place pre-orders, and then we can start the production and also get the names on that are requested. And we haven't decided if we want to make it black background or this pattern, the same kind of pattern as we have on the invisible speed bags, but in a gray color. So we'll put a poll up and have people vote on this if we want to have some pattern on the background or if we want to make the background just plain black. This isn't plain black, but it looks that way, at least on my screen, so you kind of get the idea. So we want to have more of a presence, visible presence at the tracks next year. So we'll have more accessories, clothing, and all that stuff done up. Oil bag right here. So for your diff and shock oils.
Yes.
Then radio bag and sort of a tool bag thing, but I actually use it for some parts. But actually it is a tool bag. It has the slots for tools. But I find it's really good for the sort of most important spares that I need or specialty tools, like for piston drilling and that kind of stuff, or spring tester or anything like that. So these are actually made in Poland by the world famous Pavel. Is equally insane to me, I think, maybe even more insane. And yeah, we're working together with him for these bags. So I think what we'll do is they will actually be up on his website. I don't want to deal with that headache, so we'll put all of the products up there, and then we'll inform you of what's available and when and all of that stuff, and then you head over there to place your orders.
Got one more question.
Yeah.
E-buggy floating servo mount. Is there any chance of getting an updated top plate that gives a little more clearance for clamping servo horn?
I am not sure because they might be made already.
Okay, because I know right now it's like too tight to the servo horn, and there's still room between the chassis brace, like on the center side of the chassis of the where you could add material back. But right now you have to Dremel it if you run like most clamping servo horns all bind up on the top plate.
Okay, which one, for example?
Which
servo horn? Like, just so I see what they look like.
Oh, shit, I can't remember which one I use. I use one from, I guess it's mostly off of Techno.
Oh, you told me. I'm using the same one. Starts with a K.
Yeah, Cosworks. Yeah, it's a super low mount one. I put in a couple issue reports with pictures, Joseph.
Okay.
And I show where I had to Dremel and all that. If you go dig through the issue reports, you can see it.
Coswork, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
KOSWERK.
But we had.
Okay.
Yeah, even other ones, like my youth driver, when he was using whatever one he was using when he switched them out. His also got stuck, and we had to Dremel it.
Okay. Yeah, because the clamp is on the opposite side to the arm on most of these, it seems.
Yes. I mean, it still
Okay.
works fine, but it'd be nice if it could stay more rigid.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Oh, I do know one thing. So we have some sort of overstock issues due to some past lack of checking order files and shipping EU and USA stock. So what we'll do is we will have some parts that are heavily discounted in both EU and USA shops. We'll put them in a section in the web shop, and we'll also promote on Discord so you know to go and check. And it will be a good way for you to then be able to get all the anti-roll bars to test or whatever parts we have too many of. So it's just to sort of even out our stock levels a bit, and a good opportunity for you to get more parts than normal if you want to test something out. So I hope that we can get that up next week. So check on Discord for that. And this car that I'm building, it's already available in all shops. Like I said, the spec is good, so it's not like it will be obsolete next year if you get it. It's a good deal, especially with the YMP engine. I think it's, what was it? $699, $799? I think $799.
Is that with the engine included or $799 plus?
Or was
the
it $699? I don't remember anymore. I want to say it was
$799 with the engine and the buggy.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that's a really good price for a new kit and new engine. Did I mention here that next year Ryan Cavalieri will be more involved? So he had a good performance at the Worlds. The pressure was on, you know. Cavalieri was pretty confident, like he's gonna continue next year, and we weren't too sure. Then he turned up. He did really well. He actually impressed at the Worlds, and he's actually had hosted some clinics on his own in America, talking about driving and sort of. He's not the best mechanic in the world, but I think that doing these clinics, he can learn also about wrenching and keeping his car together. But he does know about driving. There he's an expert. So we are going to include Ryan in these meetings and in-person live clinics at the track. So he will be a bigger part of Mayako and also the youth mentoring program next year.
So does that mean we can learn the proper way to grab the wing mount and slam the car on the ground?
This is an unexpected turn of events, I know. Even I'm surprised, but positively
Is this like
surprised.
a lesson on how to yell fuck in the pits?
This is going to be this is going to be a very sort of honest and raw experience.
All right. Okay.
Maybe I think that Ryan will be a good one to talk about sort of mental approach to racing and keeping your cool, that kind of stuff, you know?
No excuses.
No excuses, not blaming anyone else or other stuff, you know, really remaining professional. and calm, no matter what.
Never apologize for spiking your radio. No apologies. TM.
Where the fuck was the calmness in the Philippines?
Oh. I don't know. Once I forgot to put his car on the track. That was a good one. I think he doesn't kind of appreciate. He doesn't appreciate that ADHD isn't a made-up thing. Like, I know that now, and I think other people have sort of accepted it too. So now he knows. Like, you can't just say something one time and then think that like 5 minutes later I'm gonna remember that. No. So yeah, there was that. But hey, he's still here. Gonna continue next year. I think it's gonna be good. Anything else? Got some comments?
Sorry if I missed it, if it's been mentioned, Joseph, but any thoughts about creating some thinner sway bars, maybe 1.8 to 2.0?
Actually, yes. We are making wait, let me think now. 2.0 for the front, and 2.2 and 2.3 for the rear. I think that was it. The order was placed already a while ago, but I think that's what we did. Because I think for the LCG, we've actually run the 2.4 on many occasions, so we want to try thinner rear anti-roll bars. And also we've run the 2.1, so we want to try thinner on the front too. And yes, Brian Cavalieri was the top finishing American at the Worlds. So he was Raw National Champion at the Worlds. So of course, we need to re-sign him.
Got anybody else in your sights?
We have Pekko, and then we have a bunch of youth drivers who are steadily improving.
Nobody cares about Pecco. He's not American.
He's almost American. He's going to race in America quite a bit, so
He
maybe
can
we
come
can
hang out with
find...
me.
What?
He can come hang out with me.
Actually, you might be a negative influence on his development. But yes, he will do a number of races in America.
Well, where's his car at? Does he have one of them gay antennas on his car?
I think he does, actually.
Already influencing him, and he's not even here.
You run those antennas?
It's my antenna.
Oh, you make those? Really? This one?
No, I don't make them. The long one is mine.
I think I think
Oh,
I was
that
the
here.
first one to say that we need longer ones. So,
Oh, okay. Okay.
They built the long antenna because of me, because I run a long antenna tube.
yeah, I was running
Yes.
also a long antenna before.
Well, Tebow started the long antenna, so
You know what? Before everyone was running antenna. So it cannot be Tebow in 1970 driving the first RC car ever with white long antenna.
Yeah. And the truth is that I never stopped. Even he stopped running an antenna at some point.
well, unfortunately, I started running the long antenna because of you. So it's your fault that we have this long light antenna now. So
I think it's a good thing. Like, that's actually, to be honest, the antenna is one reason for me looking forward to the DNC race. Because I want to run at night with that antenna.
well, you'll fucking see it.
Yeah.
Well, you have to make sure that you can shut it off from your radio. So hook it to like channel 3 and turn it off so that you can get through tech, and that none of the Americans will bitch about being distracted until you're on track.
There is no tech at DNC.
I think JQ should have 4 antennas.
Oh, there's tech at DNC. The Americans will find some excuse to complain about you. Don't worry.
Really?
Somebody
Yeah.
ran it this year.
But can you do that? Can you
Somebody
turn it
ran
on and
one
off
this year.
Yeah,
from the radio?
You can.
I don't think you can, but okay.
Maybe you can somehow.
Yeah, you can.
That screams like
Wait,
for
Matt says
nitro
already
power
banned
meter.
at race time events.
Yeah.
What? Really?
Somebody
Oh.
ran one at DNC this year.
Yeah, and also Wicked.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lance
Well-
hates them. So any
Okay.
race time event or anything that Lance runs, he don't like them.
So JQ will have 4 of those. 1 in front, 1 in rear, and 2 in the sides. So he can
Well.
see his car.
We'll get you some more. Don't worry about that.
Guiding him. I think he should have a box around the car so he can see it.
I think 1 is enough, to be honest.
Nah.
That's enough.
Pecco, I think
think
you should stand. Pecco, you should stand in the infield with 2 orange ones and direct JQ around the track like the
Yeah.
like the air traffic controller at the airport.
if they could
The
figure out how to
after the straightaway turn here left.
Yeah.
if they could figure out how to get everyone running antennas and have the leaders light up like blue or something, so we know who the current leader is. That'd be pretty awesome. I know that Brent and Chase were talking about on.
Oh, you know
Golden
what we
Trigger.
should do actually? Remember those JQ Racing hands, those big hands? We should have a light up ones of those. Like the finger would be light up in the race time events. I think they would lose their shit.
Which finger?
The big one.
The
JQ
middle
had those.
finger.
I remember that those like huge ass fingers. You remember? You have any JQ in stock?
I don't have any in stock. I don't know if they exist anymore, but we can get more of
bring
them.
them back.
It was at a Euros once. It was good.
Yeah.
Sounds like e-buggy.
Sounds like e-buggy. I'm building a nitro buggy. I haven't been excited about RC for a while, but being banned and all, can't go to the track. Tried to go twice. Cops called both times. Police escort out the building. So, but now building this car, kind of looking forward to China now.
What are these new tools on the desk with the green ending?
It was just the company that making the setup board. They made some samples.
Okay.
Well, I want to make some super nice, never before seen tools. Oh yeah, that's one of my goals for this China trip.
Engrave. You need to be manly to handle on it.
It's going to be a combination of machined aluminium and carbon fiber. They're going to be nice.
Undo carbon.
Tips don't wear out in an hour.
Cavallari's gonna cover you. Cover you if you do carbon.
What?
You can't do carbon. Carbon Cavallari is gonna copy you.
Oh yeah. No, this is going to be too complex for him. We have air bubbles in our fuel tubing. The hell? What is this? What is this shit? Like big time air bubbles. This is the this kit that I was just bragging about. What the? Never seen that before. But not in this. That's weird.
It's the fuel tubing that Tebow sells. It's really good.
Really? Tebow. I'll get some and then post a negative review.
You're planning 40 plus euros next year?
Is it fairing?
Yes.
Fuck.
Bauman and Neo will go. So you will go also.
Yeah, I guess I'll go.
I already said that even if you don't go, I will go. My Echo support.
Yeah. I mean, I will go. I have to I have to actually now. Can I this time prepare and do well?
No,
Yeah, probably not.
your time has
Still
stopped.
hasn't happened.
There is too good drivers driving. Too many.
Yeah, motocross races are more important.
JQ, I have a disguise for you if you want to show up to your track that you're banned at.
Yeah, actually, they have a meeting there next week, like a club meeting, or how do you say? And
Club meeting.
yeah, I need to attend that meeting because they are discussing my ban also, or maybe only. I don't know. Also,
Well, there you go. You need to show up in that.
yeah.
What did
I
you
should.
What did you do?
It's Halloween. I need a disguise. I just show up.
Yeah.
Like, what would be a good disguise?
With Seth Rogen.
It's so easy to make that.
What did you do or say?
Actually, this is a very unfair ban. So we have this guy who.
This sounds like an excuse.
No, this is a reason. This is a story. There's a guy who he's, let's say, how can we say this? There's a couple of Indians missing from his canoe. You know, I don't know. You know, some people are like that. Okay, you just have to deal with it. Like they're not 100% there. It doesn't mean that there's, you know, anything seriously wrong, but okay, it's a bit different. Okay, so anyway, one of the guys who is on the board in the club doesn't like this guy, and on the outdoor track in the summer, the track has to be watered because it's next to the on-road track. So if the dust goes on the on-road track, then the on-road guys complain. So then this one club member was there. There were other people there also. Track was too dry. This board member complained. And then this guy mouthed off to him because he was actually watering the track and he was offended because I don't know what, because I guess because he was doing it but not well enough, and then they had an argument, and then because of that he was banned for 2 weeks. So then I heard about this, and then I made a post on Facebook just saying that I think, because this wasn't the first time or the only time that I think that board members sort of overreach a bit and ban members and do stuff like this. So I made a post defending that guy and saying that I don't think that this is right and that they should take a look in the mirror. And then a whole shitstorm erupted with hundreds of comments and a lot of people basically like agreeing with me for the most part. And then because of that, I got banned, but not only me, also Pekko, who had actually not done anything, who hadn't posted anything, but they just assumed like, well, since JQ posted this and Pekko's affiliated with him, then he's also gonna get banned. So we were both banned. Then it escalated because they said, you are banned until you come to the track and discuss this. Well, Pekko did so, but I didn't, because I said, well, I'm not gonna go to the track just to discuss this. So when the winter comes and I have a reason to go, then I'll go. And then, according to them, it was then too late. And by then they had figured out that I hadn't paid the latest track fee. They actually said that I hadn't paid for 8 years or something, like once in 8 years. So I had to go through bank statements to find the payments and show them that I have actually paid. And now we're at a stalemate because I said, okay, well, send me an invoice of what you think I haven't paid. I'll pay that. And then let me know when we can talk about this horrible act of posting the truth on Facebook and my opinion based on that truth. And nothing's happened. So I haven't got an invoice and they haven't let me know when we can talk. So I've gone to the track twice to try and talk, and both times they called the police. Actually, the first time I just went to help Pekko test something. The second time I went there just specifically to talk to them because they weren't replying to any messages. If I was in America, I could sue. Right?
You could always start the sue culture in Finland.
Could what?
I said you could always start that culture in Finland.
Suing?
No, you
No.
can sue people here, but it's just super expensive.
Racial discrimination. I'm gonna use that.
That's too old school. Need something special.
Something special? What would
And
that
actually,
be?
the police was yelling at this guy who called the cops that why the fuck did you call us?
Yeah. Even better. So the second time, when the police came and escorted me out, then they asked me some stuff like, "What's really going on here?" and whatever. Then they actually said like, "There's a 50-page document about me that they have." And now we actually know, Pekko found it. But they said, the police actually said, well, normally like we don't really bother reading those. Like this is not something very serious. So they're basically saying that if I do go back, nothing will happen. The same thing basically. But that try to just figure this out with these guys, and so they don't need to come back. Then 2 days later, there was our Offspring concert, and I went there and I saw one of those policemen there. So it was funny. Just had another chat. Oh, you remember me? Yep. I don't know if you see a police officer off duty, is it rude to call them out as a police officer? I don't know. But I kind of did that.
It's not rude to the police officer. It's rude to the other guys. Because now they're afraid and cannot enjoy the concert.
Right. Maybe. Maybe so. Anyway.
You'll find out if it's rude when you get pulled over and arrested for no reason.
Yeah, well, I don't live in America.
Me either.
The trick is to identify the police officer and then tell everyone around you that he's the drug dealer.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Ooh. We have engines also. I'm gonna try this in China. I'm gonna see if this slogan actually is telling the truth. Ooh. We have these available EU and USA separately, and also with a combo. Nice. Tune me right, and I won't stop. A throwback to that engine back in the day.
You need to watch your video before tuning it.
Yeah, I need to remind myself of what to do,
Yeah.
how to tune. I'm actually getting a bit excited now. When was the last time I ran Nitro?
You know when was my last time when I have
40
engine
plus euros
problems?
was the last time.
You know
What?
what was my last time I had engine problems? Was when you were tuning it.
Well, I knew you were gonna say that, but I'm trying to think when that was.
Silver State.
Silver State?
Yeah.
Yeah. There was something wrong with that thing. You know what that is?
Excuses.
That's an excuse. See? That's what
You
we
didn't
need
know
to get
what you
away
did.
from.
That's why you have the video.
Yeah.
You remember you got angry when I asked you for real. Have you watched your video?
That's possible. It's
JQ, you
possible.
still got any? JQ, you still got any of the engines? You still have any of those laying
No.
around?
No. None of those.
Yeah.
Joseph, keep one of this engine for the next Euro 40 Plus and you maybe win it. Because none of them got a running motor, the last two ones.
Actually, so the last 40 plus euros, the engine was fine, but the fuel tube split in the semi-final. So then I bumped from the LCQ, and then I ran the main with no problems. But I mean, I was at the back and then caught up throughout the race.
Maybe it was the air bubbles.
Nope, it was not this fuel tubing. But you know what? It was my fault because I did not give enough shits to prepare my car. So God knows when that fuel tubing had been changed. So it was avoidable. Like if I had actually just prepared my car properly, that wouldn't have happened.
So, Joseph, let Pecco prepare the car for you. You're only driving. Pecco make the setup. You're just driving. Then you have no excuse. Like you do it for him.
Yeah.
Nah.
It's more about the preparation before the race, to be honest. That's actually really
I think that's
important.
not a good idea.
The prep before you go to the race, that's the most important thing. And really for my own racing, that has been completely lacking. But I don't know, I'm feeling kind of motivated now. That will wane. After China, I'll be back to like, oh, fuck
First
this.
day. First day in China.
Yeah, no,
I checked
touring
the
car.
weather forecast and it looks the same
As
as it
when we were
was.
there?
Yeah. Terrible.
What?
Hot.
Pecco doesn't like the heat. He's being a wimp.
Hot, but no rain.
Yeah, no rain.
That's good.
It's not the raining season. The raining season will start when the worlds are.
Yeah. Man. It's kind of exciting. Pekko, do we still have our old engines? Like the one I ran?
Which?
Do you have it somewhere? The OS?
No, it's my engine.
Yeah, but you aren't running it anymore, are you?
Oh, yeah, that engine. Yeah, you have that.
Where is it?
Here.
Okay, I need that.
I
need that for China.
I saw what you did at the plus 40 euros.
What did I do?
What did you do? You almost
Yeah.
blew up the engine.
How?
Doing donuts.
No.
Yeah.
Not even close.
In the rain. And with a fully prepared air filter. The fresh one.
I had the rain filter on, so I was good.
Oh.
Okay, I need to go. It's been emotional. I'm going to finish this car on the weekend.
Finishing it on the next renting session.
Yeah, this actually, I'm liking this now. New engine, new servos, new car, green nuts and shims, glow stick antenna. Holy shit. Might make a comeback. New paint job. Lightweight
You gotta
painted
call it
body.
that. It's the Hobo Edition glow stick.
What?
Ah.
It's literally my fucking glow stick.
Okay, do you have stickers?
Yeah. Do you want glow stick stickers?
What did you say? Homo edition?
Hobo. Like
Ah.
homeless hobo. That is my nickname.
Special needs discrimination. Yes, that's what I'm gonna go for. My argument is that they are discriminating against people with special needs. First, they banned this guy that I complained to them about. Then they banned me and Pekko. So 3 special needs guys banned.
I'm not on that list.
I think you are.
No.
You
Yeah.
you have to send that to a newspaper there in Finland, and
Oh yeah, that's true.
have
Actually,
have them run the headline. Local toy car track bans autistic child.
yeah, we can do that. Actually,
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that would be awesome.
They would
You know
do
what?
it, for sure.
You know, we can do that now. We can. I have a contact. Oh yeah. Mietin, kun Ilta-Sanomissa olisi semmoinen.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we'll do that.
This is the
good.
American way. This is the
Thing
American way.
one, thing
That is an
one, and
amazing
thing
idea.
2, and thing 3 got banned.
We should get the guy who was originally banned. Like they should interview him, you know, and he gives his story, and then they tell the story like then this Finnish RC car manufacturer complained on Facebook, and then he got banned. Yeah, that's the angle. That's what
Free
we should do.
promotion, but do
And then we would call out these guys who were the fucking stupid
Yeah.
people. Banned us.
Yeah,
2 guys.
yeah.
but probably that
Their
will get
real
you banned
names
for
and what they're
lifetime on
doing.
this track. I guess when you do that.
Then we have to start our own. Okay, I need to go. Now I really need to go. I think if I end, no, it ends for all.
Yeah.
I can't just leave. Yeah, we have to end this. You can continue on
Peace.
Discord, you guys,
Bye.
if you want.
Regular.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah. Bye. Oh, from time to time I'll be on Discord. Maybe share my screen when I'm designing something here over the next months. So just random times though. I don't like planning ahead. So
You're not good at that.
yeah, keep your eyes open. I might be there in the voice chat. Okay, bye-bye.